Hi there, today we're talking about ruffles. I think this is one of the most frustrating things to draw when it comes to fashion illustration, but it's actually quite interesting to draw and to look at because it looks really satisfying. So just get started. First, I'll spend a few minutes sketching a body. Just really quickly because it doesn't have to be perfect since this is not the purpose of this video. And if you're also interested in learning how to draw fashion figures, I'll drop a link below because I made videos for that as well. Okay, so the first step, I always start with the outline of the whole garment. I just mark a line on the reference first and follow that to sketch the outline of the ruffles on the waistline. It really depends on you. You can start from the top to the bottom, but I think I can measure the proportion of the dress better by starting from the waistline. I draw a curve that goes really widely towards two sides to get the width of the dress. Use that curve as the benchmark. I'll outline the second layer, which is around the hip line. The next layer is a bit higher than the knee. And the final layer is a bit below the knee. Now back to the top, I have another layer around the neckline, and this one is a bit curvier. Then we just need to connect all of the layers together to get the basic outline of the whole garment. Just draw some really light strokes because I will add more details later. I don't want really bold and refined lines at this point. I also need a big circle on the shoulder as the outline of the flower. On the top layer, I divide the ruffles into smaller parts. I'll mark it directly on the reference. We also need to observe the changes in the direction of the ruffles. And then I will just try to mimic the proportion of the ruffles in the reference. Don't have to be precise though. Then I can draw the details. I call it the up and down process because basically we just draw the lines upward and downward. I'll follow the outline that I have sketched and draw some curves, following the patterns of the ruffles. Then I connect this curve with the line I sketched at the beginning to create volumes for these ruffles. We need to understand that ruffles all start from the ankle line around the neck. So even when it goes up really high or goes deep down, we still need to connect it with the ankle line. Besides, I also add some light strokes to illustrate the creases of the fabric. With the flower, I think it's better to give it a light shade to illustrate the general form. Now we will just do the same with the second layer. I will mark on the reference first as the guidelines, and then mimic it in my sketch. With the ruffles, we don't have to be so precise. It's okay that we just kind of draw a good shape of it, enough to make other people understand that you're drawing this look, not a random dress you see on the street. It's good to spend some time observing the reference carefully and try to figure out the rhythm of the ruffles. Sometimes I just keep staring at the reference without understanding what the hell is going on. Well, but that is the case of some really complicated pieces. But this one is fine, you could deal with it. You can see that I keep marking on the reference and follow the ruffles step by step. You don't have to draw everything at once. It's easy to get overwhelmed. So just break it down and everything is getting easier. One important thing, I always control the pressure on the pencil. I press it a little bit harder at the start of the line. Usually I'd start at a small corner of the garment where there's little light, and by this way you can create some depth for the sketch at the same time without having to shade. My tip of drawing creases is adding some lines to show the direction of the fabric drape first, and then draw a little shape like a water drop and give it a really light shade as well. When you start to get into the rhythm of the garment, it's gonna get easier. I think it's almost done here. I'll give it some more final touches, and that's it. Actually, I forgot to draw the tail of the dress until I was editing this video, but that's alright. The result is good, and that's everything. I'll see you then.